Yo, not going to become a rant channel, but someone asked me what I think on AI music, and I've got some opinions. Not too strong, neither here or there, but I'll share my opinion on what I think of AI music. What do I think about it? Musically, not much. Um, I've heard some that I was like, oh, it could pass as human. Most of it can't pass as anything other than corporate crap. Same as like I will say, you point at T Swift. T Swift doesn't not please me musically. The same pop generic crap that's manufactured. It's just always been manufactured. It's nothing different. They just have another tool now to manufacture this music. But I know people who are using it that never made music before and they're making music and they enjoy it. I'm cool with that. I'm happy for them that they can express themselves in some way, even if it's just through a prompt. Um, there's nuances when someone's like, listen to this song that I wrote using Suno, and I know at the core that a program like that it's a plagiarism machine. It takes your idea, steals recordings, samples, repackages them through different doors or whatever, and it's at the end of the day, I think it's silly for you to claim ownership over something that you've created using Suno. But I'm not going to sit here and point and laugh. Um, have fun with it. Um, I can see that it might move on to the point where uh, a next generation of apps like Udo, Suno, whatever all these things come along that's genuinely capable of helping people in an original way without cutting and pasting from other people's recorded sessions, from the actual hard work of other people. So what I think about it, this is going to lose a lot of people here. I think it's a plagiarism issue, and I think copywriting laws suck. If I write a song and I own it, I own that song, right, and I record that song. I think that if you recreate that song, you own it. You don't owe me anything other than pointing and saying this person wrote the original version of this song. But if you take it what I've created and repackage it in a way that people grab onto and you can monetize it in a way that I wasn't able to, I'll tell you, you have my approval to do that with any of my music. I'd appreciate it if you ask, but I'm telling you now, if you hear something on my channel that you like and you want to steal it, go ahead. Music shouldn't belong to anyone. Just because I sit down and figure something out on the guitar, how does it give me an inherent ownership over that? So coming back to AI apps that are plagiarism machines, I say they're plagiarism machines, but I don't have a problem with that. Plagiarize away, steal music from everywhere you can. Go for it. I'm. You've got my approval. Um, if people are going to stand in your way and gatekeep you, I'll be on your side saying, nah, don't gatekeep that piece of music just because you were the first one to create it. Doesn't give you any ownership over it. Ownership of music runs out after a period anyway, because the idea is to give the original creator the period to monetize it, and then that monetization period ends, and you can extend it. The families of dead artists will extend the ownership and stuff, sometimes beyond 100 years. But mostly things like that end up in the public domain, and I would argue all music belongs in the public domain. So are you allowed to feed in all the music off the internet onto your AI app and use it to make other music? As far as I'm concerned, yes. But we can debate about what level of creativity you've had in that. Doesn't take anything away from the fact that you're doing what you want to do with your tools at your disposal. So, what do I think of AI music? Not much. I hope it improves to the point where I can enjoy some of it because I don't enjoy it. It seems unnatural to me. It reminds me of early, like pop auto tune where things are just too flat. You get sine waves in the vocals. There's no fluttering. There's no weakness coming through in the vocals, and touch on the fake guitarist thing. I think with vocals, especially in the AI music, we're gonna want to hear flaws. We're gonna want to hear that human. Well, his voice just broke, and the robots can try and emulate that, but I think they're gonna struggle to get that for a long time. They could get the compositions down and the scales and the melodies and all the mathematical scientific structure behind it, but the nuances are going to come really slowly. And it's at the moment those nuances are there because they're sampled from other people's music. So if you're using AI to make music, keep at it. Cool. I don't. I'm not taking anything away from me. You're not slowing me down in my creative process, and I don't want to slow you down in yours. Um, the monetization of it, you're not selling it to me, so I don't care. I like to hear strings being scraped, and I'll tell you now, like when I listen to heavy metal, I do listen to a lot of produced stuff, but I also listen to a lot of stuff that's raw. Sounds like it was recorded in a tin can, and I'm glad that metal has had that because it'll stay. And rock and roll, a lot of genres have had that. It'll stay. When we look at hip hop and stuff, it's just got so perfect. No one wants to do anything really vulnerable. No one wants to be exposed as being imperfect anymore. And AI is going to help with that. People who've never played the guitar in their life are able to put a perfect guitar piece to a song that they've written on whatever level you want to respect that they've written that. But so I'm ranting, of course. There's just nothing in it for me. I've considered what would it be, what mean for me to take one of my recordings, feed it into an AI, say, clean this up, what can you do with it? I don't want to hear it back. I don't want to hear it back. What I was saying about ownership though, like if anyone else is here and wants to take any of my music and feed it into an AI, you own that. Seriously, go ahead, do it. If it's just a 10-second snippet, some of my lyrics, whatever. I'm not going to sit here and claim ownership over anything that I do on, even though I'm the person who created this music. It's it's a universe of sound that exists, and for anyone, for me to step into that universe of sound and navigate my way through and say I own that path now, that hurts my brain. If you can't understand that, you never will. But don't try to take ownership over something that already exists. So when I create a music, to what level am I creating it? I think I'm getting into that universe and I'm navigating my way through it. There are only so many ways that you can go from step A to step B, step A, step B, whatever you want to say. There's only so many pathways in music. And we're going to start owning them. We're going to run out of pathways. And it might get into the trillions of combinations of pleasable notes. I don't care what the number is. That's a semantic because we can't draw a line and say, yeah, say there are 100 possible melodies and 100 people claimed ownership to them, and after that, everyone else is plagiarizing. It's the same thing when I write a song and I'm like, oh, wait, is that song? That's a Metallica riff, and I have to change it because I didn't realize when I was playing it that I've taken more than just inspiration. My brain has allowed me to cut and paste these things. And I've this riff here. This is from my song, by the way. Now, Metallica fans will recognize that. You will do what I say when I say back to the front. Coward. Now, I changed it. I used it one bar pretty much the same when I went into an alternate picking. If James or Lars want to fight me in a car park about who owns that riff, I'll be happy to fight either of them. Take that ownership, cut it out of like you're being gatekeeping, you're being possessive of something that essentially doesn't belong to you. I kept that riff in my song. Of course I did. Why would I change it? It doesn't belong to James. It doesn't belong to Kirk. It doesn't belong to the bass drummer. It doesn't belong to anyone. It belongs in a universe of possible music, possible audio, in sounds in our hearing range that are pleasurable. and I just happened to walk down the same path as one of them for a moment in one of my songs. The rest of the song sounds nothing like a Metallica song, but occasionally when we were practicing, I would turn around and just, "You will do," and just hint and have a joke because it's an inside joke that probably 10% of the crowd realizes, hey, wait, that riff sounds familiar, and no one else recognizes it. No one else cares because people who aren't sitting here investing all their energy into making music, I think they have a different mentality on it when they listen to it. If it's pleasurable, they don't want to hear the politics. They're like, what does it matter to you, a non creator listener, how I went about making my song? You know, if I've made a song that has a sample from another famous song and it's taken that and uplifted it in a way, like, can you tell me no that I don't have the permission to do that? You can try. You can try. But I'll tell you to go and suck a duck because this guitar in my hand belongs to me and I'll play anything I want on it that I'm capable of. And I'd love to see you try and stop me. And the same I can imagine is going through the heads of these people who've never had access to music and suddenly they have something they can generate a song with a prompt. Yeah, I'd like to see you stop me. Try it. Try and stop these people. If Bandcamp are banning AI music on their app, I approve of that. It's their application and they get to decide what music's on it. Well, these are corporate entities. They still own their companies and they do get to decide what's on it. You know, how many of you listen to music on Spotify? If you listen to music on Spotify, it for me, your opinion stays at the door. Hold it to you, keep it to yourself because you're busy supporting some of the worst corporate leeches in music. What makes you think your opinion about Tim in his bedroom discovering AI prompt generated music for the first time is valid when your opinion about music in general is just to jump into the corporate and feed the machine? It makes music worse when you do that. So, you know, you won't see me popping up on Spotify. If I ever release an album, it won't be there. It'll probably just come onto YouTube and SoundCloud, and then I'll make hard copies of it. Um, like all the corporate entities that latch onto music disgust me, and the people against AI generated music, I can understand it from that perspective. Suno are corporate leeches. The guy that owns it is a leech and a parasite. Um, I wish him nothing but harm, and that's the truth. You know, in it, karma will get people like that for taking away from people. But that doesn't stop the fact that I know people who are using it and having fun with it, who've never made music in their life, who want to share something they created. I'm not taking the time to listen to it because I don't enjoy it. I don't want you listening to my music if you don't enjoy it. Maybe once, like to decide whether you enjoy it or not. If you enjoy it, keep listening. If you don't, thanks for coming and checking it out. But I'm not going to hold you here. I'm enjoying it. Make no mistake about that. Um, so if you're enjoying it, what you do creatively, and do your best to not like do your best with these apps. Suno, Udio. I don't want to mention it all them all because I don't respect the apps, but the people using them, whatever. Do your best to learn how they work so that you can get the most possible originality out of it. Make sure that you're feeding it your ideas. If you have audio clips and melodies and stuff that you can feed it, do that. If you have friends that make music on a level like me, which is just really bedroom horrible audio, ask them, hey, can I take that? I want to feed it into an AI. Do it, do it. You don't have to ask me, but you've got other friends that make music, and they probably don't mind. They'll probably be happy to see you taking that step to make it a bit more authentic for everyone. Yeah, I don't get to stamp of approval it. and may say this is authentic. Neither do you. Unfortunately, that happens in the courts, and it's up in the air. I'm neither here nor there. I'd like to see it progress to a point where people can use it without the applications stealing from other artists. But also, I don't care. If you're an artist and you've had if you write a song and it only got 50 listens and someone else takes it and retransposes it into something better and gets a million views, I honestly think you should be thankful that someone was able to do that to your song. If someone took one of my guitar pieces, even if it was the piece I was most proud of, and they took it and were able to get that to ears, even if they had to change it, I'd just be happy for them, and I'd be happy for the piece of music that exists in that universe that got out there. I don't own that path. I was just the one to walk it, and I'm glad other people get to walk it now. You know, and that's what I think about music is really ownership is horrible. Look, stop putting your name, stop putting your name on something to say you can say like I did that, but to say I own that in what's essentially just sound waves, it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Um, but you're all entitled to your own opinions, and I would love to hear them. I'm not going to become a rant channel, but I've got a lot of opinions, a lot of strong opinions. I'm going to start posting a little bit more regularly just to speak my mind. Nothing edited. You will hear all my. I'll lose my train of thought while I'm talking here, whatever. I'm not going to start editing anything. You're just going to get raw, unfiltered. Me picking my nose without thinking about it. This is it. Go make some music however you want to do it. However you want to do it, even if it's just going as you walk down the hallway, do it. I approve of it. However you are doing it, even if you're stealing it, I approve. If you want help hoisting over the fence, it's going to be a yes or no thing for me. Maybe sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I'll help you. Sometimes I won't. But I'm going to be yelling at you the whole time. Get over that fence, steal that music, make it yours, share it with the world, and drag as many people down that path in that musical sphere as you can. Everyone deserves to have music in their life, and if you're going to try and hold people back from it, you're not a very nice human. That's the truth. Don't hold back people from expressing themselves how they want to. If it is your song, and I do respect your right to say no, that's my song, and I don't want anyone stealing it, but I'm not going to stand there and fight for that right for you. I'm not going to stand there and fight for your right to protect ownership over something I think you don't have ownership over. Good that you think you do, but I'll play anything I want on my guitar. If you tell me, that song belongs to me, I'll do my best to go and learn it and play it just to mess with you because that's how silly I think it is, and I think you do deserve to be messed with if you want to take ownership and full possession over something that does not belong to you. Music is universal. It is part of the universe. The harmonic frequencies, everything that makes up the Western, Eastern, all these different tuning systems. It's the mechanics of the universe at play. You're going to try and take ownership of that. I think you're pathetic. Love it.